grew up eating from trash to feeding 10,000 kids daily. His name was Leo, but the other street kids just called him Shadow. He was small for his age, with eyes that had seen too much and a stomach that had felt too little. Every day was the same hunt. He'd wait for the back door of the fancy restaurant, the Golden Spoon, to swing open. Then, like a ghost, he'd slip toward the overflowing bins, his heart pounding a frantic rhythm against his ribs. The smell was overwhelming, a mix of rot and discarded luxury. But to Leo, it was the smell of survival. His small, grimy hands would sort through the mush, searching for anything remotely edible. A half-eaten bread roll, a bruised apple, the soggy remnants of a rich person's dinner. This was his world. One evening, the restaurant's owner, a stern-faced man named Mr. Alistair, caught him. He grabbed Leo by his tattered collar, his voice booming like thunder. "Get out of here, you rat! Don't you ever let me see your face again!" Leo didn't cry. He just stared back, a silent promise in his eyes. He wasn't just hungry for food, he was hungry for a life where he wouldn't be invisible, a life where he wouldn't be called a rat. As he ran from the alley, the jeers of the kitchen staff followed him, but one thing stuck in his mind. The glint of the Golden Spoon emblem on the restaurant sign. It represented everything he didn't have. Dignity, fullness, a place at the table. That night, huddled in a cardboard box, he swore to himself that one day he would be the one holding the spoon, and no child would ever have to feel the gnawing emptiness he felt every single day. Spas. The streets were a harsh teacher, but they taught Leo resilience. He worked odd jobs, saved every penny, and learned to read from discarded newspapers. He watched people, studied business, and absorbed everything he could. The memory of Mr. Alistair's disgust and the shame of the garbage bins never faded. It wasn't a scar, it was fuel. He started small, with a single food cart he built himself from scrap wood and metal. He sold simple hot meals to workers and students. His secret ingredient, empathy. He remembered what it was like to be starving, so his portions were always generous, his prices always fair. He called his cart the Full Spoon. People loved it. They didn't just come for the food, they came for the warmth and kindness Leo offered. His little cart soon became a local sensation. He worked tirelessly, from before dawn until long after dusk, his hands now skilled at chopping and cooking instead of scavenging. The money started coming in, more than he had ever dreamed of. He could have bought a fancy apartment, expensive clothes, all the things he once gazed at from the outside. But the image of his younger self, the shadow in the alley, was always there, reminding him of his true purpose. He wasn't just building a business. He was building a weapon against hunger. One day, a man in a tailored suit approached his cart. It was Mr. Alistair. He looked older, wearier, his once booming voice now softer. The Golden Spoon was struggling. The world had changed, and his fancy restaurant was losing its appeal. He had heard about the wildly popular Full Spoon and came to see the phenomenon for himself. He didn't recognize the determined young man standing proudly behind the counter. "I'll have what everyone's having," Mr. Alistair said, a hint of disdain still in his voice. Leo served him a steaming bowl of stew, the same kind that was now a lifeline for so many. As Alistair took his first bite, his eyes widened. It was delicious, hearty, and made with a care his own chefs had long since lost. "This is remarkable," he admitted. Leo simply smiled. "It's just food," he replied. But no one should have to search for it in the trash. Recognition dawned on Alistair's face, followed by a wave of shame. He remembered the small, defiant boy in the alley. He was speechless. Leo had not just become successful, he had become everything Alistair wasn't: generous, beloved, and a pillar of the community. Instead of seeking revenge, Leo made an offer. He bought the Golden Spoon, not to run it as an elite restaurant, but to transform it. The sign came down. The velvet ropes disappeared. The fancy tablecloths were replaced with long, communal tables. A renamed it the Open Table. It became the central kitchen for his new foundation, a place dedicated to one mission: ensuring no child in the city went hungry. The same kitchen that once threw away scraps now prepared thousands of nutritious meals every single day. Leo, the boy who ate from the trash, was now in charge of feeding 10,000 children. He didn't just build a food empire, he built a circle of compassion. He hired people from the streets, giving them the second chance he had to fight so hard for. Mr. Allister, humbled and changed, asked if he could volunteer, washing dishes in the very kitchen he once commanded. Leo agreed. It wasn't about forgiveness. It was about understanding that everyone deserves a chance to be better. Leo's story is a powerful reminder that the deepest wounds can inspire the greatest acts of kindness. It shows that your beginning doesn't define your end, and that the best way to fill your own emptiness is by filling the plates of others. If you or someone you know is struggling with food insecurity, please know there is help available. Organizations like Feeding America and local food banks are there to provide support. You are not alone, and reaching out is a sign of strength. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that inspire.